second day of August 2025. September. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, thank you so much. September. Gosh. I declare a quorum is present and declare that the notices have been legally posted pursuant to the Open Meetings Act. Would you please stand for our invocation that will be led by Buzz Fullen, and remain standing for the pledges that will be led by Councilwoman Melissa Martin.
Lead us, guide us, and direct us in the way that leads to a help us to make honest and decent and good decisions.
Place the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. All right. We are down to our citizens' comments, and I do have 4 here. Are there any more, Ms. Cheryl? Okay. All right. On our citizens' comments, let's remember we have 3 minutes, and the first one we have up is Mr. Trey Sagiri.
All right. Thank you, council members. I'm here in support of HEDCO, the Henderson Economic Development Corporation. The EDC's job is to incentivize business, job growth, and sustain business throughout our community. I believe it should be an aggressive pursuit to those three pillars of the EDC. The current team that we have is very aggressive on those fronts and doing things like housing, business grants, land deals to make businesses come into town and sustain the business that we already have. The whole board wants what's best for Henderson as a community. And I truly do believe that. I didn't know a lot of the guys that were on the board or in the EDC before I became a volunteer myself on that board. And I really think that everybody wants Henderson to grow and be prosperous and what's the best for Henderson. I think there is kind of a vocal minority out there that I don't understand. Maybe there's some confusion about what an EDC does. So I'd like to maybe shed a little bit of light on that. The EDC takes in sales tax dollars. And what that means is anybody that spends $1 in Henderson and gets taxed on that, some of those funds go to the EDC. That means if you're from Timbuktu and you come through and you buy a donut, we get a percentage of that. We use those funds for those 3 pillars: job growth, sustain business, and incentivize business to come to town. It seems that there might be some rhetoric out there that is swaying public opinion on what the EDC does and how well it's doing it for our community. I just want to clarify, I really think that our EDC is doing what they should be doing, what they want to do. I think everybody has the right agenda within the EDC, which is to help Henderson ultimately. I have a belief in the team that they really want that. I can't speak on Brett Gardella's past. I was not on the committee that hired him. I actually started my time on the board when he started. But I can see how aggressive he wants to be for those 3 pillars for our community. He really wants those things to happen. And historically, our EDC hasn't done those things, but we're doing them now. We're doing housing because we know that that's a thing that our community really wants. We're making business deals to try to get those businesses into town. This is really important to me. I see his vision. I see his team's vision. And I see our board's vision. And I really think that that's what they're trying to do is further Henderson into the future. So I'd really like to see this council pass the budget, pass the scope of work, allow us to continue what we're trying to do in Henderson. And like I said, if we can just get this thing passed, we really have a lot of cool things on the cusp of what's about to happen. And I think that Henderson is really, really going to benefit from what's going on. So in closing, I just want to say that everyone here wants to make Henderson better, and I want to see the EDC get their stuff done, hopefully tonight. That way we can continue to do that. So, thank you.
So at this time, we'll have Ms.
Okay. I come before you today with serious concerns regarding the financial management, transparency, and accountability of HEDCO. July 19th, I submitted an open records request for electronic copies of HEDCO's financial statements and travel expense records for board members and executive director to include travel dates, destination, hotel, etc. from 2020 to present. The response deadline was August 1st. August 8th, HEDCO's attorney, Mr. Hardy, requested clarification, stating it was extremely broad, claimed it would be time-consuming and potentially costly. On August 11th, I responded that I wanted, and I gave an example, reported travel for Mr. Gardella to India and 2 trips to London. I requested documentation for these and any other travel during that time period. On August 29th, Mr. Hardy replied, HEDCO informs me that there are no records responsive to your request regarding travel expenditures. This response is deeply concerning. According to Mr. Gardella's public LinkedIn profile, he has traveled to India, London, and South Korea on behalf of HEDCO. Meanwhile, HEDCO maintains a dedicated training and travel budget line item, yet now claims to have no travel records, receipts, or expense reports. If such records truly do not exist, why does this budget line item exist at all, and why are we continuing to fund it? Even more alarming, it appears some travel costs are also being allocated under advertising and marketing, budget line item 7203, labeled as recruitment. This means HEDCO is using 2 separate budget lines to charge travel expenses while simultaneously claiming to have zero travel documentation. This is not simply poor record keeping, it is a serious red flag. At the February HEDCO meeting, during a discussion about budget line item 7203, the following exchange occurred. A board member asked, that includes some travel in there too. Another responded, some recruitment. Ms. Jacobs added, the marketing is in that budget. The trip, yes, the trips. Mr. Gardella stated, recruitment is considered to be part of the marketing line item. 7206, training and travel, is for conferences I attend or that Shelby will attend. Occasionally Mandy can. That's really what they're meant for. Later, Mr. Gardella said the travel and recruitment will maintain itself fairly steady. Can't do one-off things. We have to make sure we're staying in front of people when attracting them. So again, I ask, why did HEDCO respond that no travel documentation exists? HEDCO's budget is ballooning. Advertising and marketing went from $70,000 in 23-24 to $120,000 in 24-25. That's a 71.43% increase. They're proposing $120,000 in 25-26. Their training and travel went from $12,000 in 23 to 24 to $50,000 in 24 and 25, a 316% increase. They're proposing $60,000 in 25-26, an additional 20% more. Even more troubling is HEDCO's relationship with New Realm 3.0 LLC, an out-of-state marketing consultant hired 2 months after Mr. Gardella's start date. From November 2024 to August 25, we've paid them $50,000. Invoices lack clear net terms. New Realm services reportedly include branding, web design, LinkedIn content, yet the company has been tax forfeited since September 27, 2024. Its deliverables include a logo, which frankly could have been produced for free on Canva, and business cards. Local vendors were bypassed. Even HEDCO is entirely funded by local sales tax, as Mr. Segura told us, and so from our small businesses. And rather than reinvesting in our local economy, contracts are awarded to out-of-state inactive entities that return nothing to Henderson. David Hinkle is the guiding force behind New Realm and T36 LLC. He's linked to the failed golf course project in Baytown, Texas. During Mr. Gardella's tenure there, that project ended in bankruptcy, costing taxpayers an additional $1.9 million beyond the original $6 million. We cannot afford to ignore these warning signs. Removing 1 or 2 board members or terminating Mr. Gardella alone will not fix a deeply flawed system. HEDCO needs a complete overhaul. I'm requesting this body strongly consider the following actions. Remove HEDCO financials from the consent agenda, conduct a full review of budget items, invoices, and vendor relationships, reject the proposed 25-26 bloated budget, post HEDCO's board minutes on their website, Adopt a true transparency and accountability resolution with enforceable actions and deadlines, and call for an outside investigation, either a forensic audit or the Texas Rangers. Require monthly attendance by department heads and the head co-executive director. No more absentee leadership. Council members, I understand each of you have a full-time job, but with at least 3 boards now demanding close oversight, the city's 7 boards and commissions must be divided among the members, and at minimum, you should attend or listen to meeting recordings. They need to hold the meetings after 5:30 and at City Hall, not scattered venues. Record and publish the meetings online. We need a reset. Henderson can support smart growth without compromising values. I once believed Henderson was immune to big city corruption. Sadly, that belief has changed. You wouldn't buy a car without checking under the hood. Accepting government operations at face values is just as reckless. We must ensure Rusk County is a hostile environment for corruption and cronyism. Rusk County is not for sale. We have repeatedly come before this body and various boards asking for pause and accountability. We've been met with silence or delay. Whether it's willful ignorance or calculated resistance, this will not blow over. If this council continues to refuse action, we are prepared to act. Under Local Government Code 505.352, citizens may petition for an election to terminate HEDCO. I've long seen this as a last resort, but the longer these issues go unresolved, the more inevitable that path becomes. Please prove me wrong. We will not accept scapegoats or token resignations. We demand a full overhaul, real oversight, and a leadership structure that earns, not erodes, our public trust. Thank you.
Thank you. Asher.
Good evening, City Council, Mayor, City Manager. This is not the first time I've stood before you today, but today I come to you as a concerned citizen. When each of you took office or accepted an appointment, you signed the City of Henderson Code of Ethics and the Code and the Conduct for Elected and Appointed Officials. Under the section titled Ethics, it states, "The citizens and businesses of Henderson are entitled to have a fair, ethical, and accountable local government that has earned the public's full confidence for integrity." It's listed in your code of conduct. Right now, our community does not have confidence. We have documented incidents of slander, disrespect, and public taunting towards citizens, of which each and every one of you, I sent a message today of showing you yet another one. These actions directly violate the city's adopted code of conduct. This is not an isolated issue. We brought these concerns to you last month, yet nothing has changed. We continue to witness behavior that is unprofessional and unacceptable. Brett Gardella, the director of HEDCO, has acted without accountability and even said he didn't care whether the board approved it or not. He was going to do it anyway. Everybody heard the recording. This kind of leadership is damaging to our community. If he can do this, what else can he do? We are also tired of apologies that carry no real meaning. Brian Ballard issued apologies to Donovan between messages, but continued the same behavior. Why should we accept an apology now? He keeps doing it. Send you another one he did too today. What has changed? How can someone who repeatedly disregards the code of ethics and conduct be trusted to serve as vice president of HEDCO? Under Section 3, ethics clearly states, each elected and appointed official shall refrain from abusive conduct, personal charges, or verbal attacks upon the character or motives of other members of council, board and commissions, the staff, or the public. Under the section titled Conduct, the code provides guidance on ethical behavior and the question of right and wrong. It also explains how council members and board and commission members should treat one another, city, staff, and the public. The key value throughout the entire document is respect. Under 3B, in private encounter states, continue respectful behavior in private. The same level of respect and consideration of differing points or new appointment appropriate for public discussions should be maintained in private conversations. Beware of insecurity of written notes, voicemail messages, and emails. We've sent you 3 already. Henderson is a small town. Elected and appointed officials are constantly being observed by the community. Your behavior and words show as examples of how leadership should look in Henderson. Honesty and respect for the dignity of every individual, I'm almost done, in every word and action, every day, at all times. This is serious and ongoing responsibility. The code states also that the city council may impose sanctions on board and commission members who do not comply with the city's policies, up to and including removal from office. So I ask you, have you truly read the Code of Ethics and Conduct you agreed to uphold? The issue goes far deeper than a mural. What we are doing here is about preserving the integrity, the respect, and the history of our town. And I do agree with Mrs. Segura. I want better for our town. I want the division to stop. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
If you want me to summarize, I will. Mayor, there was one submitted public comment as well, written by Mr. Weldon Gray. He couldn't make it tonight, but you have the letter in front of you, council. But just to summarize, ultimately, he's requesting the council to reconsider the decision on the tax rate, and thinks it would be better to leave it at the current rate. Just, the little bit that adds up to continue to be able to have capital for a city. So you can read it, but that'd be part of the record, just public comment as well. Just want to make sure y'all are aware of that one. Okay.
And that concludes our citizens' comments. So at this time, we'll move on to presentations and announcements. We have one special presentation tonight. This one is for Mr. Kason Weatherton. If you would you come up? Does everyone know who Kason is? Okay. All righty. What did he say? Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah. Kason is a very special young man. Kason played soccer, baseball. What'd you start out with? Track. He did all those things without his crutches. So he has made great strides to be a beacon of light to able-bodied citizens that we say. And a lot of us, sometimes we say, well, I can't do this or I can't do that. I've never heard that come from Kason. I was talking to his grandfather, and he was telling me that when his cousins came down from Dallas and Houston to visit, they'd be outside playing. So if they got a spanking, he did too. Whatever they got, he got. So he has taken those things, and he's gone on to make some great strides. Was it about a month ago when you went to Michigan? Yeah, about 2 months ago, he went to Michigan, and he was competing in track meet, powerlifting, and all of those things. And if he would have made his qualifying points, he would have made it to the Olympic trials. So he's done great things. And if we wanted this to go on 30 minutes, I would let his mother talk. But we are so proud of you, and you just continue to do the things that you're doing, and God will take you higher than we can imagine. So what we want to do here, we want to give you a key to the city. A lot of us have heard this said, give them their flowers while they're living. So we're not going to wait until you make it to the Olympic trials or the Olympics. We want you to know today how proud we are of you. And this key to the city, I'm not sure what it's going to open. Not sure what it's going to open, but we want to give this to you. It says, I, Henry Pace, Mayor of the City of Henderson, do hereby bestow the key to the city of Henderson, presented to Kason Weatherton in honor of your exceptional athletic achievements, unwavering determination, and pride you have brought to the city of Henderson. Your dedication inspires our community and reflects the true spirit of excellence. Signed and sealed this day of September 2nd, 2025. You want to say something? I know you do.
I'm not much of a talker. Th- Thank you to the council for presenting me with this award. Thank you to Mayor Pace. He's the one that got me into athletics when I was like 12, 13. So really thank you to him for even getting me here, because I wouldn't be here if he didn't let me in. So, but yeah, thank you to my mom. She's about to cry, but yeah, that's it. All right.
I just want to change that. I did not start him in athletics. He started way before he got to middle school. What age was it? 5, 4? At 4, okay. And yeah, I'll tell you this: when he played soccer, played without his crutches. When he ran track, without his crutches. So he's just soared and done so many great things without it. Without it. So we're just proud of you. We'll move on to item number 1 of our regular session. That's the consideration and possible action upon tabled items from August 19th meeting, Resolution 2025-0801 for boards and commissions transparency.
Yes, sir, Mayor, we are working through this resolution that Councilman Searcy brought us, and we're still working through some pricing and logistics and all that with the website to put all the minutes and any audio, video, all the different things that we've talked about and been suggested together. My suggestion would be give us a little more time so we can get that together. But that's up to Councilman Searcy. But I would say, we've already tabled it, so we can't necessarily table it again, but we can sure bring it up in our future meeting coming up. I would think maybe in October we might have a little more pricing. Cheryl, you think those? So that will help us understand what that looks like and the logistics of that. So,
Yes, y'all forgive me, my voice is about gone. Yeah, with that said, if we bring it up in October, then I will move to strike this for now.
Motion.
That was,
You made your
that was
motion.
my
You need a
motion.
second.
Second.
All right, Mr. Searcy made the motion. Ms. Martin seconded. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign. All right. Item number 1 carries. Okay, we're moving to items 2 and 3. It would be my recommendation that we just drop items 2 and 3 at the moment. We don't have Mr. Strong here, and I would like to just drop those 2 items for right now. He's supposed to be back with us next week.
That again next week.
Back next week. Any,
I'll make a motion to drop items 2 and 3.
A second.
all in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign. All right. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay. That motion carries to drop those 2 items. Moving on to item 4. Open a second public hearing on the proposed tax rate to be non-renewed tax rate of .529139 per $100 valuation of each assessment to be based upon 100% of its appraised value.
Mayor, yes, sir, this is the second public hearing and final public hearing before the ordinance to approve. The proposed the proposed rate would be the no new revenue tax rate at this point, .529139, as you said, which is a decrease of 2 cents from last year, but this is the second public hearing.
Item number 4. Okay, all right, moving on to item 5, consideration and possible actions upon closing the public hearing. Can I get a motion to close public hearing?
Do we have anyone that wants to?
I asked y'all to adopt it before, and I do greatly appreciate y'all. Taxpayers are taxed, we're getting taxed to death, frankly. And I don't think that we're being fiscally responsible with some of the money that we have, and I think it's disingenuous to ask us to pay more than we absolutely have to pay. And so I would respectfully ask you to do the no new revenue rate. We need to reevaluate some things, and then next year go back to the drawing board and see, maybe we do zero-based budgeting and figure out what you actually really need to run the city versus, I know you've got to have some reserves, I understand all of that, but we can't keep taking more off of the taxpayers. And we're not listening to the taxpayers now. So I would respectfully ask you to keep doing the no new revenue rate, please. Thank you.
Comments on that?
If there's no more comments, I'll move to close the hearing.
Second.
Cersei made the motion, Ms. Martin seconded. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign. Item 5 carries. Alrighty. Moving to item 6, consideration upon the first reading of ordinance 2025-09-01, setting the proposed tax rate to be the non-renewed tax rate of .529139 per $100 valuation of each assessment to be based upon 100% of its appraised value. Right.
A question. If we do the no new revenue tax rate, and the things that we have budgeted right now, what happens to things that we don't have budgeted that might come up? Are we gonna have the money to make unbudgeted repairs, whatever, with the no new?
We never know what's gonna come up, so I guess that's a difficult answer, because we don't know what those costs necessarily are. But ultimately, I mean, I would like to say yes. The directors we always work through, and from a maintenance standpoint, any emergencies, things that pop up, our folks do a good job of making sure that they have a little, well, I don't want to say cushion. I would say it's going to be more, basically it's built in on what the maintenance items are going to be and what the best cost they believe will be on potential emergency fixes. But you never know what those things are, especially when it comes into utilities and water, sewer. Those become large expenses. But that's a different part of the budget. But from this rate, yeah, I think, I mean, in the end, we'll be fine. It's just, you're not able to move the reserve, back up. That was the main piece. But no change in service. I think we'd be just fine in this, at this rate, you know, at this point, for sure.
Open a second public hearing on proposed 2025-2026 budget.
Okay, council, on the same thing here. This is the second public hearing on the budget itself. There's been no changes since last meeting. So same there, but this is the public hearing for comments or questions.
Consideration and possible actions upon closing the public hearing.
A second.
Motion, Mr. Jackson with the second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign. All right. Item number 10, consideration and possible actions to cancel September 16th. Whoops, I'm just jumping right ahead there. All righty. Number 9, had it checked. Consideration upon the first reading of ordinance 2025-09-02 on the proposed budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. Consideration and possible actions to cancel the September 16th council meeting. Ms. Jimerson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All righty. Let's see. So we are down to, it is 6:34. We will now convene into executive session at 6:04. 6:30, I'll give.
Get glasses on.
6:34. Minutes behind.